Hello. Okay. Good morning to all. I'm Dr. Mathew, coordinator of this FDB. On behalf of National College of Pharmacy and Adal Academy, I invite all of you to this event. First of all, I would like to extend my gratitude to our management, especially Dr. K.M. Navasa, our CEO and Executive Trustee, Dr. Aisha Madam, our Director of Operations, for their extended support. I welcome all of them to this event. And our chief guest for today's event is Dr. K.R. Mahadik sir, a humble teacher, academician, administrator. Mahadik sir is currently working as a principal and professor of chemistry at Bharathiya University, Pune College of Pharmacy. He is a recipient of many awards, including national, international fellowships. He is a great researcher with several papers with more than 9,000 citations. He has dozens of patents. He has many books in this space. So it's a privilege to start this event with Dr. Mahadik sir's blessings. So I welcome you, sir, to this event. Next, I welcome Dr. Sujit Verma, who has been giving me his extended cooperation to make this event a very fruitful one. I welcome Dr. Sujit Verma sir to this event. Next, I welcome Dr. Bijo Mathew, who is our resource person. He has also joined this meeting. I welcome Dr. Bijo also to this event. Next, I welcome Professor Sijo Patam, our HOD, Pharmacognosy, who is supporting us in this event in the most sincere way. Also, I welcome So I invite Dr. Sujit Verma to the presidential.
Respected dignitaries, Dr. Mahadik K.R., Principal, Pune College of Pharmacy, Dr. Akash Marathagam, Professor and HOD, Department of Pharmaceutical Chemistry, also a coordinator for that case, FTP, Professor Siji, Head Department of Pharmacognosy, Ms. Saidira, Lecturer, Department of Pharmacognosy, and all my dear faculty members. A warm welcome to all of you. Actually, today we are here for the inaugural session of the Atal FTP in the topic entitled Personal Effectiveness in Teaching and Learning Process, a Pharmaceutical Perspective Form, which is scheduled to commence from today to 9th of July 2021. Actually, the National College of Pharmacy was established in the year 1996 with DPharm admission, later upgraded to the degree and PG level, which include the PharmD course as well. The college is recognized as a research center for the award of PhD in Pharmaceutical Sciences of Kerala University for Health Sciences. The college is also accredited by the National Board of Accreditation. Coming to the ACT Atal Academy, which was established in the year 2018 by the Honorable Minister, Human Resource Development, Government of India. Initially, the Atal Academy was established in Jaipur, Vadodara, Guwahati, and Trivandrum. Later, 11 academies came up in whole of India. Actually, the FTP is main aim is to provide financial assistance to facilitate upgradation of knowledge, skill, and provide opportunity for induction training to teachers employed in various technical streams. And this FTP will fill the gap between the teacher's delivery and the gap between the teacher's delivery and the student understanding the concept. So I hope this adult FTP will properly utilized by the faculty members to effectively implement the teaching learning process. I once again thank all the faculty members who have registered for this FTP, and I sincerely thank Mahadik sir, who has taken our invitation to come here today for the inaugural session. Thank you, one and all.
We invite Dr. Mahadik sir to the honors.
Good morning, all of you. Dr. K.M. Nawaz, Executive Trustee, KMCT Group of Institutions, Principal Sujit Verma, Professor Akash, and my fellow professionals. At the outset, I congratulate National College of Pharmacy for taking this most important but commonly ignored interesting topic of personal effectiveness in teaching learning process. Teaching is the process giving shape to one's thought and action through instructions and performing practices that lead to new behavior and capacity in the students. From March 2020, due to COVID's pandemic, the teachers are using online platforms for academic activities. In this pandemic situation, teachers' job is not limited to teaching, but they should impart learning abilities in the students. Learning is the process of acquiring new or modified existing knowledge, behaviors, skills, values, and preferences. The term 21st century learning has been referred to abilities of students such as they must master abilities such as problem solving skills, critical thinking skills, and digital literacy. Some refer to its ability to collaborate, communicate, and demonstrate skills that will ultimately help students navigate their way in future. The variety of students' characteristics affects learning. For example, cultural, generational backgrounds of students influence how they see the world. A disciplinary background influences students to approach problems differently. Thus, it is required that teachers should make teaching more effective in order to enhance student learning. The effective teaching methodology involves acquiring relevant knowledge about students and using it to inform course design and classroom teachings. In order to make teaching process more effective, learning objectives, instructional activities, and assessment tools must be aligned. Learning objectives such as the learning objectives that is uh, that is the knowledge and skills that teacher expect from students to acquire during their study. Instructional activities supporting learning objectives such as case studies, labs, discussion, and readings. Assessments provide an opportunity for students to demonstrate and practice the knowledge and skills articulated in goals such as tests, papers, problems, and performances. There are various styles a teacher can use to make teaching more effective, such as authoritative style. In this style, the teacher uses auditorium settings. Here, the teacher gives a lengthy discussion on a pre-assigned topic. A large group of students is present. In this style, there is no interaction and it is mostly one-way learning style in which knowledge is imparted. Secondly, delegating style. In this style, the students are given a pre-assignment and feedback is given. The teacher works as an observer and promotes group studies. Facilitator style. Third, here the teacher adopts activity-based learning style. The professor encourages the students to ask questions rather than simply giving them all the answers. Here, the professor uses the activities to promote self-discovery to develop problem-solving skills. Fourth is demonstrative style. Here, the teacher does not rely on giving verbal lecture. He uses multimedia presentations, demonstrations, and class activities. It is more interactive, but sometimes it becomes difficult to accommodate the needs of all the students. Fifth is personality style. In this style of professor uses his own personality, preferences, and interests into teaching. Here the professor changes the teaching style as per the student's requirement. In this 21st century, teacher must adopt various teaching strategies so that learning will be more effective and meaningful. First, to be able to teach all learners. Being a 21st century educator means having the ability to be able to teach and reach all the learners. In today's classroom, educators have learned that students learn best when they are taught to their own unique style and ability. An effective 21st century educator must have the ability to teach and reach each characteristic and skills of every student in the class. Second, be able to implement technology. In 21st century, the ability to not only learn about the educational gadgets that will help students learn better and faster, but also to have the ability to know how to use and implement the gadget within the classroom is an essential skill of 21st century teacher. Thirdly, be able to foster student relationships. In a digital world where students can count the number of friends that they have by likes they get on Facebook and Instagram, it is essential now more than ever for educators to be able to foster healthy relationship among their students. An effective teacher will have the ability to facilitate interpersonal relationship within the classroom so that students will have the sense of community and be able to communicate with their peers on higher level than just social media. Fourth is be forward thinking. In 21st century, educator is able to anticipate the future. In 21st century, educator is able to anticipate the future and plan for it. They are able to push their students to ensure that they will be able to navigate their way through this ever-changing technological world. They have the ability to prepare students for the unknown based on current trends and technology. Fifth, be able to embrace the changes. The ability to embrace the changes is an essential characteristic of 21st century teacher. With the rapid changes in technology and the way the students learn, educator must be able to embrace the change and adapt to it. Technology changes daily, as do new teaching strategies, testing techniques, and the way we are able to learn and communicate with others. An effective teacher living in 21st century has the ability to adapt to anything and everything, as well as to embrace it. Because if you compare 1980s and 2020 or 1990s, you will see that lot of changes are there technologically in assessment system, learning technologies. So teacher has to accept it and be ready for these changes. Along with teaching, learning processes also has the vital role to play. The learning process also has a vital role to play so as to ensure that the cycle of delivering the content by teacher and the same is accepted by student completes in the effective way during study. The teacher also must be aware of the current situations, current problems, current thrust areas in research where he should participate and contribute so that he will be uh, updating his knowledge, and that ultimately helps the students to understand what is happening. In case of teachers, without research, updation of teachers will not be possible, and so contribution of teachers in research for effective learning is equally important. In addition, I must compliment efforts of AICTE in establishment of Atal Academy, which aims to improve the quality of technical education via organizing various FDP in emerging areas. Actually, there are lot of efforts are there in improvement of quality of technical education in the country by AICT as well as PCI. Pharmacy Council of India has come out with scheme for giving the training to the faculty so that they will understand and understand the industrial practices, and it will be helpful in the teaching effectively to the students, and the students will be ready for the industrial needs. I am sure that this FDP will help all the participants to gain new insights in teaching learning processes which they can utilize in their effective teaching. If say 25-30%, if you take it from the content I have seen, Akash has made. So if you made it in practice, if the participants made it in practice during their teaching will be more effective and meaningful to the students. I think the effort of National College of Pharmacy is important in organizing this type of topic, which will help the teachers to understand their weaknesses and where there is a requirement for updation or upgradation of their methodology. I am thankful to all of you for quiet listening. I am equally thankful to Dr. Akash, Sujit for calling me for this inaugural session. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's really been an honor that you inaugurated our function, sir.
Okay, thank you. Oh, one thing I have missed. I officially declare that this FDP is open for further deliberations and
Okay.
declare it as inaugurated.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, I invite Professor Sijo Patam for the felicitations. Good morning to all.
Respected resource persons, other invited guests, and all participants. As we all know, continuous perfection of teaching skill is necessary if students are to benefit. And that is the intention of this FTP. Goes without saying that this attempt to perfect ourselves and stay abreast will not only help our students but will help ourselves. We have a set of affluent resource persons to talk to us about the need of the time and introduce us to latest changes in the field. I believe that resource persons will help us better ourselves and all of us will benefit maximum out of this. Thank you.
Thank you, Sijo, sir. Vote of thanks, Ms. Abha.
And as already pointed out, we will start personally as a professor and enhancing unique quality, track all personal that our further part to that. On behalf of all at NCP, National College of Pharmacy, I would like to thank Professor Dr. Mathew, College of Pharmacy, College of Pharmacy, for the SP presence and inaugurating the event. I would like to extend my gratitude to our management, principal, Dr. Bijo Mathew, Department of Pharmacy. Dr. Mathew for initiating and organizing such a new event. Pfizer Suraj, Prasoon, Ashwin, Leo, and Jali from IT and Communication Department of the PNC. Last but not the least, I would like to thank all the delegates gathered here for being part of the work.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, sir. Mahadik, sir. Thank you very much. A few minutes to break, then we will start with the first session of Dr. Bijo Mathew. How to write a medicinal chemistry research paper in a peer-reviewed journal. So, thank you, sir. Thank you for coming and blessing us. Dr. Bijo, can you hear me?
I think there is a network issue.
Okay. Can we just take a break of 5 minutes?
Yes. Please check your connection.
Yeah. Hope everyone can hear me.
Akash, there is a sound disturbance. Hello.
So please pardon me. Dr. Bijo, can you hear me?
One minute. I think there is a network problem with your side.
Okay, sir. No, now it's.
Please ask the participant.
Anyone having trouble regarding audio?
No, sir.
Hello, sir.
You
Good
are
morning.
audible, sir. Yes, sir.
You're
Now
audible,
you
but
got audio.
your voice is so low. Volume is very low.
Okay. So please pardon for the first issue. So Dr. Bijo, can you carry on? Can you try to share the screen?
Share content, please enable the share content. Akash, can you please enable that share option? Hello. Hello.
So I can hear you. I can hear you, please.
But share option, I cannot enable the share option. There is a option, is there?
Yeah, yes, sir. Please.
But
Sorry for the
it
issue.
is it's not visible. Hello.
Yeah, sir. Please wait, sir. So, just wait for 2 more minutes, sir. Please, 2 more minutes.
हाँ साहब आयो 5 मिनट में वो હા આવો આવો કેવું છે યશવી શું કરો છો પછી કયો હા એ તમારે જલ્દી પતી જાય એટલે એ જ સારું બરાબર ને અમારી જગ્યાએ અહીંયા કઈ ગામ હા ને પિનલબેન ને આપતા જાવ બરાબર હા
एमपीएससीच्या 3000 नियुक्त्या मुलाखती रखडल्या त्या कोणावरती धडक मोर्चासाठी निघालेले मनसैनिक पोलिसांनी घेतले ताब्यात आणि राज्यामध्ये आजपासून 2 दिवस म्हणजे 5 आणि उद्या 6 जुलैला विधिमंडळाचं पावसाळी अधिवेशन पार पडत आहे. कोरोनाच्या पार्श्वभूमीवरती यंदा अधिवेशनाचं कामकाज 2
हाँ सर
दिवसांचं
बोलो।
मराठा आरक्षण ओबीसी
अरे आप
आरक्षण
कहाँ पे हो?
तसंच
ये
इतर
पूरे
मुद्द्यांवर
इंडिया में आपका आवाज जा रहा है मीटिंग में, वेदिक में। म्यूट तो करो।
एक मिनट है।
हेलो।
So there was some technical glitch from our side. So nothing is perfect. So moving to our first session, that is of Dr. Bijo Mathew. See, Dr. Bijo Mathew is Associate Professor of Pharmaceutical Chemistry at Amurda School of Pharmacy, Kochi, India. Bijo Mathew's primary area of focus are in drug discovery of neurodegenerative disorders, cancer, and molecular modeling. His main research interest is on the design of enzyme inhibitors, especially monoamine oxidase inhibitors, and he has published around 151 papers with an H index of 30, and he has more than 2,500 citations in the Google Scholar. So, Dr. Bijo Mathew is serving the editorial board member of combinatorial chemistry and high throughput screening. He received Amrita Vishwavidyapitham Chancellor's Publication Award in 2021 with 13 years of teaching and research experience. So Dr. Bijo Mathew has authored one book, one edited book, 5 book chapters, and 25 invited talk in national and international level. He has one patent from the Korean Intellectual Property of Office, the Korean Intellectual Property of Office, the topic of protective or therapeutic composition of neurological disorders containing furanol chalcones as effective agents. Speaking of the topic, writing techniques of a medicinal chemistry research paper in a peer-reviewed journal. So, writing techniques of a medicinal chemistry research paper in a peer-reviewed journal. So, we would like to know your secret of publishing papers in such high-impact journals. Dr. Bijo Mathew, sorry for the technical glitches happened few minutes ago. So now everything is clear. Sir, over to Bijo. Carry on, sir, please.
So can you see the full screen? Hello?
Sir, it is visible.
Yes, sir, it's visible, sir. Visible.
Now is it in a slide mode share? Slide share mode?
Yes, sir, it's
Hello?
It's slide share mode, full screen mode, sir.
Full screen, okay. Good morning, all. So I think if you have some network issues, especially connecting with the audio, you please message in the chat box. Okay. Hello. Hello.
Hello, yes, sir. We can hear you, sir.
Is there any problem for hearing any participants?
No, sir. Clear, sir.
No,
Clear.
sir, you are audible, sir.
Audible, okay. The slide is not moving. Whatever. So can you see my first slide? So that means after the front slide, can you see that?
Yes, sir. Simple rules of documentation.
Yeah, okay. Good morning, all. Let me start the objective of today webinar. Okay. So I am dealing with the medicinal chemistry area, especially the drug design and synthesis and molecular docking studies. So I know that so there are various peoples from various departments. So we are discussing only the medicinal chemistry papers, but apart from that, so I will discuss the general aspect of writing a research paper in a peer-reviewed journal. So then you can see the transformation of that general topic into the Med Chem paper. Okay, so you know that. So these are I will demonstrate some of the basic rules which is connecting in a Med Chem research lab. Can you hear my voice clearly? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We can clear. It's clear.
Clear, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. So you see here, if you are a research scholar or if you are a PhD candidate or so if you are guiding some of your research students, so the main thing is before writing a paper, you should procure some of the basic needs in your lab. So the first one is always you should keep a laboratory notebook in your lab. That is one of the most essential one. So then I will explain what is a necessity of keeping a laboratory notebook. So we are, whenever you see here, I already told that I am from the medicinal chemistry background. So on the basis of that only, I just designed the slides. So why we are keeping a laboratory notebook? So you please observe your reactions with a specific time. What are the reactions you are daily conducting, and with a specific time you please note in your observation book. And why this is important? So this can be important in your future. So while writing a paper, and it will give a clear demonstration and which inventions were made and when. That is the concept. And you can see that you please make some critical dates of the corresponding experiments. And what is the advantages of this particular keeping a laboratory notebook? Sometimes the researchers can have a tendency to rediscover their old ideas. Sometimes you see here, if you are conducting plenty of experiments, sometimes there is a chance to do what is that the old experiment. So to avoid such type of wastage of time, so you please maintain your laboratory notebook with a clear observation of reaction and with a specific time. Okay, so that is a thing. And if you are going for recording the results, okay, for a synthetic molecule, for a synthesis, so this is a very important thing. So accurate data with no manipulation, whatever the things you got, you please write. And all the details should be clear. And you see here, if you have a systematic procedure, something like if you're reflexing with a 10-hour or 15-hour, so you can see a clear factor that. So suppose a second person or third person will doing the same experiment, so he should able to reproduce that experiment. So that's why your procedure and all the other requirements should be in a clear. Okay, so that means that's why I told that don't make any manipulation. Okay, clear. Then you should make some, that is a physical characterization of a molecule. You please calculate your melting point of your molecule before and after recrystallization. And you should note the solubility pattern and the yield of duration. So these are the general things of medicinal chemistry, recording the results in a lab. Okay, forget about that. This is the theme we are going to see that. Okay, you see here, this is the researchers, especially we are going with a medicinal chemistry research. We will see that how the importance it will comes. Okay, so we are slowly entering to the chem world. You see here there are many molecules, many reagents, many starting materials, many purification techniques are there. So we are slowly entering to the world. And so before, this is a core concept. Can you see the slide clearly? Hello? Hello, hello. Hello?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
sir.
that is my ideas. Can you see that? Yeah,
Yes.
you see here. So whenever if you are beginning a particular project, so first of all, before writing a paper, so before writing a peer-reviewed paper, so you please dream your project. So dream is one of the most important thing. Without dream, you cannot work. You see here. So if you have a clear dream on your project, obviously that dream will trigger for getting more ideas to write a paper. Okay. So first dream your paper. So dream your project and please write a paper and submit. I will take the pointer option. Can you see the pointer option? I will take that. Okay, laser. So you please, can you see the pointer option? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello, hello. Yeah. So after writing a paper, so you please submit a peer-reviewed journal. So it is not like that there are n number of predatory journals nowadays as available. If you are giving 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees, they will publish free of cost without reviewing anything. So I'm not talking about that. You should publish with a reputed publishers. Okay, that I will tell you in later on my slides. So once you submitted your manuscript in a peer-reviewed journal, you see here, this is a common thing. You are waiting for the fate of your work. You don't know that how, because maybe you are a good researcher, because you are very, you have a good skill in the development of your molecule, you have good skill in your biological evaluation. Unfortunately, if you cannot write a paper, so you see here, that is also one of the most important thing. You see here, writing a paper, you see whatever the ideas you generated in your dream of your project, so that should be transferred that ideas in a paper. So once you are waiting, that's why I just mentioned the time, you will get a decision from the editorial board or the editor in charge. So direct accept, I think 99% there is no chance is there. Revise and accept, or sometimes they will resubmit and you can see the reject. I think we will always see this concept, this decision, reject. If you are going for a peer-reviewed journal, if you're submitting a paper, so obviously, so you can see that 60 to 70% of the manuscripts were rejected by the editorial board or editor in charge. So because due to the, maybe the lack of novelty, maybe your language, so maybe there are many reasons that we will see in later. So once it will reject, don't worry about that. Find a new journal and again you start the same process. Clear? Clear or not?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Clear?
Yeah. Clear.
Yeah. So then we will go to the, you see here, this is the most important thing. So if you are making a research article, so the first of all, did you hear about this term anywhere? Cover letter. I think majority of the people experience on publishing a paper in a peer-reviewed journal. So I think you are very aware about this particular term, cover letter. Did you hear about cover letter? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Actually, no, sir. Now,
Yes, sir, we heard, sir.
Yeah, so it's a cover letter. You see here, that is the initial communication phase between your editor and the corresponding author. So that's why the cover letters so have a huge importance to convey your ideas to the editor in charge, because editor in charge, you see here, you can see that thing is, it is a letter to the editor in charge of the journal. Okay. And one of the most important concept is, before writing the cover letter, you please ensure your journal whether your research article is within the scope. Suppose,
leave your computer.
Please mute your audio. Hello, hello. Please mute. Okay. So it is the most important thing whether your research article is within the scope of the journal. Suppose if you have a theoretical study, so you cannot go for what is that, some of the articles which is connecting with the concentrate on the experimental design. So that's why before ensuring the cover letter, you please note that your research article is within the scope of the journal. And please mention clearly in the cover letter the novelty of the work which you stated in the manuscript. And please note that in some of the cover letter, and especially in journals, they will ask some reviewers. Please note that your co-authors should not add in your reviewers. So that is one of the important. And please note that always your reviewers should be a heavy hitters from this particular field, and it should not have any conflict of interest in your own work. And provide their institutional email ID, because I think institutional email ID nowadays is a necessary criteria. Okay, so if you don't have, please advise your. Hello, hello.
दोनों डोज बढ़िया नगर निगम में तो जल्दी लगा दी अच्छा नर्मदा में है
Then we will go to the abstract. Okay, so this is you know that if you are seeing the body of a research article, so you can see many things: abstract, keywords, introduction, materials, methods, results, discussion, conclusion, many things you can see that. So this is the most important concept, that is the abstract, because that will give the, what is that, the first impression of your article. Okay. So I will tell you that abstract in my concept, it is a body of your research article. So if you want to see the body of your research article, I can tell you that, please read. So you please note that abstract should be in a single paragraph. Sometimes if you are going for some of the Bentham journal, you can see the structured abstract. That is a different concept. But in normal cases only, you can see the abstract should be in a single paragraph. So its words should be consist between 250 to 300 words. And this is the most important one. Your first sentence, that means the objective, purpose. The first sentence should be more striking. Can you able to hear my voice? Can you able to hear my voice clearly?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yeah. So the first point is very important. The sentence should be more striking. That is the first point. And you should incorporate, don't incorporate all the results in your manuscript. Please incorporate major results only. And always it should be unpublished results, because that we know that you cannot make a published results once again. Okay. And summarize with your work with a clear hypothesis, whether it is medicinal chemistry, pharmacology, cognosy, zootics, anything. There is no issue in that, but you should summarize your work with a clear hypothesis. And you see here in my concept, you should write your abstract at the end of writing a paper. So that is depends upon the nature of your work or the nature of or the attitude of a researcher. Because in my case, I will always write the abstract at the end of paper. And please avoid spelling and grammatical mistakes in your abstract. So suppose if you have some grammatical mistake in your introduction also, there is, so there may be some, what is that, options are there, but please avoid the grammatical and spelling mistakes in your abstract. It should be done in the last, okay. Then I am coming to the medicinal chemistry aspect. Okay, suppose, because this is a common for all the departments, especially in science department, anyone you can use that. But if you're going for a medicinal chemistry aspect, so always you can start like this type of style. You can start newly synthesized or novel synthesized or new typhine-based candidates. Such type of terms you can use that. Suppose if your molecule is not novel, or if someone will report it, so you can tell that it is previously reported or previously synthesized. So anytime you can use that, there is no issue in that. And this is the most important thing that, so can you see that the third point? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Can you see the third point?
Yes.
So in the third point, 12 molecules of pyrosolene. So not only in my subject, please note that in the beginning of a sentence, you don't start with a number in the beginning of the sentence. Okay, please note that. So that is one of the most important thing. And use a code in the lead molecule with the IUPAC name. Okay, you know that nowadays IUPAC name is a very easiest one. You please draw the structure. Either in the ChemSketch or ChemDraw, you will get the IUPAC code. So you please mention the lead molecule IUPAC also. Please mention the IC50 value, Ka, ED50 or MIC. That is must in your abstract. No need of spectral interpretation. So that means no need to tell a detailed establishment for the genuinity of the molecule in the abstract itself. That may be a separate part in the, and your hypothesis, and make sure your science is true. That is one of the important thing that, so you cannot simply argue that the carbon valence is 5. I cannot write simply, because already there may be a clear scientific validity is there. The valence of carbon is 4. So that's why your hypothesis must be clear, and you should make that your science is absolutely true. And you see here, I can tell you that this is the conclusion of my first slide. Aim, objective, materials, methods, conclusion in a concise format. So I can tell you that your entire story of your manuscript, you just executed in a minimal words with a wide audience. Clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Really.
Yeah, so that means you have a whole manuscript in your mind. That means in your hand. That's why I told you, that your entire story. That means the whole manuscript. So you are executing in a form of abstract with a minimum number of words with a wide audience. That means after reading the abstract itself, the audience will get they will trigger for reading your article. That means your full text article. So that means your entire story should be very clear in the abstract. Okay. Then the introduction part, that means that whenever if you're seeing a research article, you can see the introduction part is very clear. Okay, I can tell you that this is a character of your research. So it will gives the what type of research is going to represent. So that type of information I can gather easily from the introduction part. And please note that it is the first thing is the history of your work. It is, I already told that the first slide is always I just mentioned commonly. The second part only I will come with the medicinal chemistry aspect. Then you please introduce what is a topic we are exploring. That is the introduction. And please make sure that what are the reasons that is the importance of your research, why we are executing the research. Please make the rationally and specific objectives, and it should be spelled in the existing context of existing work. And please note that this is the most important one. What are the gaps present in your existing literature? So if you know the existing literature, so there may be many gaps, you can see that. So that's why before beginning a research, you should know a clear history about your topic. So on analyzing the history, you can explore what type of topic you are making to give a clear idea to the audience. And the audience should able to understand what is a gap present in the history. Clear? Clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So once you are executing the gap, you see here, I can tell you simply that, you see here, I can simply tell you that the structure of, or the valency of, or the hybridization of benzene is sp2. I can you know that. So, but I cannot tell you that. Oh, sorry, my gap is why not the hybridization pattern is not for sp and sp3. So such type of gaps you cannot make that, and you can make a gap, but that gap you should have a clear answer. What are the strategies you are adopting to solve that gap? So that is the important thing. So you identify the history, you find out the topic we are going to explore, you make a reason behind in that, you are making the context of existing work, you identify the gap, and finally your work is able to answer a clear idea how you can solve the gap. So that is an important concept. And please don't negative about the previous work, you know that. Don't negative about that. Then coming to the introduction of a medicinal chemistry research. Okay, so this is my way of style. So some of the peoples can, they are using in different types. So because this is a very systematic way, that's why commonly I use these type of ways. So whenever if you are making an introduction of a medicinal chemistry research paper, so first of all, you know that you are dealing with a paper which connecting with the, what is it, a diseases or drug disease. So you please mention the pathogenesis of a disease. Once you are identifying a disease, you please quote the selection of the target, latest discovery, that means the last 5 years literature, you please mention clearly, and the main findings of the literature that should be comes in the introduction part. And you please, next paragraph, you can go to the nucleus of the which is the nucleus we are targeting. If any approved drug molecules, within these molecules, you please make the sure their diagrams, and you please make the history of your nucleus in a present target, that is SAR diagram, and find the gaps, how your synthetic scheme can expand the structure-active relationship, a clear objective, and these are the things you can see that for your introduction. Clear? In a medicinal chemistry aspect. Clear? Clear or not?
Clear, sir. Clear.
Yeah. So now these are the things I will I will make you some, one of the very important thing that some of the sentences. So whenever if you are writing a literature, sorry, in an introduction, you please note that it should be present perfect tense. Please, nowadays we are facing one of the most difficult problems in an Indian writer. So we are not native English speakers. Sometimes so if you are communicating your paper, there may be some mistakes in the grammatical, but by avoiding such type of mistakes, you can please note that if your previous should be in a present perfect tense. I can tell you an example. A great deal of research has been conducted, but, comma, a few experiments have been reported. So such type of techniques, that is tense technique, you please note that. And I think already this particular point, I already mentioned that the identification of the clear gap. Then we will skip to the, this is one of my introduction of one of my article in the Taylor and Francis Journal of Enzyme Inhibition and Medicinal Chemistry. So we are designing this particular molecule. This is a very big molecule, but already this type of scaffold already derived from some of the researchers in their own lab. So they identified that the 4-fluorine for some groups in the R1 and R2, it has some analgesic, some anti-inflammatory, and if some linker, they are some of them identified inflammatory, mycobacterial, and you see here in a single scaffold, by changing the functional group itself, you got different types of activity. So various peoples identified the importance of the scaffold. So you please incorporate all their findings and make in a single diagram. So it will give a clear explanation of the audience. So these are the, because you see by writing, you see here, if you are seeing this diagram, it is very clear that what are the linker, what are the R group, what are the R1. But if the same thing, if you are communicating in your paper, so if you are putting a 4-fluoro group in the phenyl ring system, something like if you are writing in that type of manner, it is very difficult to understand both the audience and the reviewers. So that's why, to avoid such type of puzzling, you can simply make a graphical representation that will give a clear. That's why you see here in the figure diagram, I just mentioned structure active relationship within the pyridazole derivatives reported in the literature. Clear or not? Is it clear or not? Hello?
Sir,
Hello?
clear.
Yeah. So then we will go to the materials and methods. That is the procedure of the synthesis, physical spectralization. Okay, these are the examples of when we are proceeding writing a chemistry paper. You should note the IUPAC name. That should be maybe in italic, or there is bold, there is no problem. Your code and yield, melting point I forgot. Then the HNMR analysis, I forgot the three, I didn't incorporate C13. Then your mass and other things. If elemental analysis there, that also you can incorporate. Okay, so these are the HNMR analysis. It is not necessary in the manuscript. You can keep in your supplementary data. Okay, these are the things. And in the materials and methods, so please note that while writing a materials and method, you please note that these are the things should be very careful. Always simple past tense. Clear? So what you did in a study, don't use present tense or present perfect tense. You please use simple past tense. So that is the most ideal tense we are going to convey in front of the audience. That means I will tell an example. Total aldehyde and ketone were measured in the laboratory. The standard protocol was followed for the preparation of the media. So something like common thing. And in a format, it is not ML, it is not like this. 78%, there is no gap between 78 and percentage. And 60 to 70%, you should not like 60%. Sorry, it is not, it is 70. So you can use the percentage at the end. Okay, that is important. So metals and methods, you see here, you identified a gap. And you finally, this is the brain of your research. You are executing a particular thing. Most essential part, that is a practical steps. And focus on the specific. Draw the attention. If you are exploring a special equipments, please mention that. And please mention your procedure should be in a chronological sequence. So that means if you're synthesizing a particular molecule, so synthesis should be start first, then the purification, then the spectral analysis, then the biological. So if you did the computation studies in the first for the virtual screening, you can start from like that. So on the base of that, you please ensure with the chronological sequence and the results. That's why I can tell you that this is the eyes of your research. You know that this is the most important part. You can see that the reviewer will analyze you made a gap in your research article, and finally you got some results. That means this is the output of your research article or your research program. That's why just you see already I mentioned that it is outcome of your research. It is textual explanation. So you can explain your results by means of figures, graphs, tables, etc. The statistics is very, very important. So it should be, your results should be statistics. Okay. And try to illustrate the most important finding. Results to be described, not explained. Can you see that? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello, hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So when you are executing, and you are executing, writing results in your paper, you can simply describe these are the results I got in my research program. But no need give a detailed justification in this part. That part it will come in the discussion area. So you just simply mention the explanation in a clear description, not give a detailed explanation. And you please mention the comparison with your standard and positive and negative control. Tables and figures may be placed at the end. In some of the journals, they will ask at the proper areas itself of the results. Okay. And please mention that these are the things you should be use in your tenses. Always your results should be a past tense. Hello? Hello, hello.
Okay,
Can you hear me?
okay. Yeah.
Hello?
Sir, yes, sir,
So
you are audible.
always it should be it should be a past tense, and most and sometimes the example I just mentioned that results indicated, that easiest way of the results in front of the, and yeah, this is important thing, that in the figure and table graphs always you should mention in a present tense. Don't use figure 1 displayed. Okay, you can always figure 1 displays, table 1 shows. Okay, so these are the simple things we can use. And results, okay, these are the some of the examples I used from my own laboratory. Then the discussion, that is the heart of your research paper, and this is the most important one. And discussion, because it need the justification of the audience. The audience analyzes the results, whether it may be good or bad or moderate, there is no problem. But if your design, or if you got a best result, so you need to clarify what is the advantage of your design, how that design is beneficial in the future. All the things will be comes in the discussion part. That's why I mentioned that is the heart of your research paper. You please mention the inner mechanism. Okay, and you please mention the hypothesis used, and you please note that your hypothesis is supported or not. And you please, suppose if you didn't get a best active molecule, suppose if you got some of the molecule with poor activity, so don't bother about that, because you please, there's no need of doing any manipulation. You please mention whatever the results you got, you please write a clear justification. What are the alternative possibilities? And that will wrap up with a summary of your work. And a graphical representation of the hypothesis is highly recommended. I will show you one of the graphical representation. Okay, so this is one of my recent article from the Journal of Pharmacy and Pharmacology. So we will give a hypothesis how this drug molecule. Okay, I will explain in the graphical representation. And in the discussion, please use the tenses are very important, and present tense to explain significance of your research, because you have a clear idea about that. Okay, so what are the things to be careful in the discussion? So you please note that a present tense should be needed to explain the significance of your result. So I will tell a simple example in my own area. Okay, presence of removal of electron donating group from the furan ring appears to less potent in the inflammatory response. You see that is a present tense. By comparing with the standard is must, that is a past tense to comparing with the combination with the percentage. That is the thing you can use that. I will tell an example. A bulky group did not increase activity ratio, comma. It indicate that it is having a combination of past and present tense. That also you can use in that. And the conclusion, I can tell you that is the fate of your research, the most important part, the benefits of your molecule, and it should not resemble with your abstract. Okay, so conclusion is different, abstract is different. Okay, and future scope, and it will lead to the birth of your another researcher mind. That is important thing, man. And hypothesis is very clear in the last paragraph. And the conclusion, I can tell you that this is the example. Okay, 1 minute. Okay. Okay, so now this is my first part. Okay, so after that I will go to the, you see here, I need half an hour time for discussing and another how to select a journal and how to submit a peer-reviewed paper. So before that, you have questions. If you have any questions in this area, you can ask that. After 5 minutes, I will go to the second area, that is how to select a journal, what are the strategies of journal presentation, all these things. Okay. So the first session, I'm just wind upping. Okay. So if you have anything, any doubt in the writing a paper, in a research paper, you can now. The next session is we are going to deal. I need a half an hour time for the selection of the journal and criteria of journals. Participants, you have any doubts?
Participants, anyone?
Sir, I have one question.
Please introduce
Paid or
yourself.
unpaid journal, which one should be best?
Please
Publication.
introduce yourself.
Sir, I am Dr. Bijo
Hello.
from MIT, Meerut Institute of Engineering and College, MIT, Meerut.
Yeah.
I am working as a professor.
Your area of research is?
Yes, sir.
Your area of research is?
Sir, pharmacology, learning and memory.
Okay. Pharmacology. Okay, tell me.
Sir, I want to ask one question. That we should publish in our paper, whether in paid journal or unpaid journal.
So better you please, you can publish your paper in an unpaid journal. So paid journal itself, they are categorizing into two types. First one is the paid publishers, the very famous paid publishers are the first one is the MDPA publishers. And second one is the Frontiers. MDPA is from the Switzerland and Frontiers from the USA. And these peoples, they are charging more money, especially they are focusing on the funded type of projects, but you will get high impact journal, high impact factor, you will get that. And one of the most advantageous thing is your peer review and the review process will be very fast, and you will get the results within 1 or 2 weeks. Suppose in the non-paid journals also there's something like Elsevier, Wiley, ACS, Taylor and Francis, Bentham Science, and also there is no issue in that. But you should not focus the paid journal something like 1,000 rupee, 2,000, 5,000. You know that these type of journals, they doesn't have any indexed agency. So because your journal should be SI indexed. SI index means it is science citation indexed journal. So SI index, that means your journal should be in a JCR. That means it will be under the clavitric analytics. Okay, so I think between 10,000 to 11,000 only journals are nowadays is available. So if you go to the what is that JCR reports, you will get a clear picture of the details of the journal. You please select the journal. If you have funder, if you have funding in your work, you can go to the MDPA or Frontiers. These are the leading publishing company. So you can get the results within 2 or 3 weeks maximum.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hello.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Hello, Bijo sir. Hello.
Yeah, any more clarification?
Yeah, any more?
Yes, tell me, who is that?
One madam is asking something. Any doubts?
Yeah, you please.
Okay, I think no doubts from anyone. Please, if you have anything to ask, please. Okay. Sir, you will be resuming the session within 10 minutes. Also, you need more time, sir?
No, I can continue.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So I am requesting all participants to participate. Any question you want to ask? Any doubts? What about review paper? One question is there, sir. What about review paper? Bijo sir. Hello, sir.
What about, who is that?
It's a chat box. Ma'am, can you, one Mr. Sana, one ma'am Sana Khan is asking that how a review paper can be prepared.
Okay, you please ask which type of review, which department, you please introduce yourself.
Madam, can you please speak up? Okay, it's in the chat box, sir.
Which type of review? The reviews are, there are many reviews are there. Which type of review you want? And you are from which department?
Hello,
Hello?
sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, tell me.
Yes, sir. I am from a medicinal
Yes,
chemistry
audible.
department. Medicinal chemistry department. And sir, my question
From
is
which
that how can I prepare review paper regarding chemistry?
chemistry? Your area of research is which area? Your area of
Medicinal
research?
chemistry, sir.
In medicinal chemistry, which topic?
Sir, hello.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
In which area you are? Hello? Hello. Is it audible, Akash sir?
Yeah, it's audible, sir. But that ma'am just left. She told that she was working in medicinal chemistry. She needs to know how to prepare a review article in medicinal chemistry. So she didn't specify the topic.
Okay, she left, Okay, we'll talk at the end. Okay, so this is the next is the road of publication. What are the procedures to publish a paper? And first is, I already told you that the first phase is you please select a suitable journal. That is the most important one. So you please notify your journal is within the scope or not. Second, step number 2 is you please in the journal itself you should make a login ID and a password, and you please carefully analyze the journal instruction including the checklist. So how the figures can be executing and how the tables and how the reference style and all the things you can get from the checklist. And the step number 4 is submitting to the journal. And within 2 days, the technical team will evaluate the English language, plagiarism, and journal format. And there may be a chance for 20% of the reduction at this particular time. Okay, and the step number 5 is once your technical team is okay with your manuscript, the editor in charge will handle. So he will check the scope, language, scientific validity, novelty, and everything. Suppose if it is not suitable, so if you have a lack of novelty and scientific validity, So 60 to 70% rejection is at this time. That means without a review, they will reject. That is, I can tell you that it is a term is editorial rejection. So the editorial rejection you can see in the step number 5. If his editor is satisfied your work, if he has some interest on your work, so he will assign the associate editor in charge or section editor in charge for working the peer review system, and 40 to 50% chance is there, because once editor will pass, and it need 1 to 2 months, and after that 2 months or 1 month your editor will receive all the mails which is relevant to your works. So it may be a major revision, minor, accept or reject. And this is, and finally, if you are giving the revision, and you will get your published paper. Okay, so this is a what is that normal pattern. You can see that. Suppose if you are publishing a paper between 1 to 2 impact factor, obviously 2 reviewer will be there. If they have a suggestion is minor, 100% chance of the acceptance. If 1 minor, another is major, 90% chance is there. If 2 major, 2 are major, 80% chance is there. These are the simple normal statistical response of a journal. Okay, so obviously if it is major and major, so you please take care about to address all the points of major aspect, 80% chance is there. Then if your impact is between 2 and 3, obviously 3 or 2 reviewer will become. If it is 3 is minor, 100% chance of the acceptance. If 3 are major, 70 to 80% chance is there for acceptance. If 1 is reject, 2 is major. Hello, is it audible?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, audible only.
Yeah, so 2 is major, 1 is reject. There may be a chance for the reject, and 60 to 80% chance is there. So if 2 is reject, 1 is minor, the editor will not consider the minor portion. He will just directly reject your paper by analyzing the 2 rejection. Above 3 impact factors. So if maybe 3 to 4 reviewers are there, if 1 is reject, another is major and minor combinations decisions are there, there may be a 40 to 60% chance is there. If 2 is reject, directly reject. Okay, so please note that. Okay, this is one of our recent paper. I just made a hypothesis. Okay, so if you have anyone doubt in that writing a hypothesis, you can contact me. Okay, these are the simple type of discussion part you can write in your paper. How to increase activity or decrease activity. Okay, so you can incorporate in that. Okay, so these are the some of our latest paper in current medicinal chemistry. Okay, so various types of techniques you can employ for the discussion part. And okay, and this is the most, I think, a majority of FDP program, they are academic people. Is it right or not? Hello?
Yeah, yes, sir. Majority are academic.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Majority people
Yeah.
are from academic side.
Yeah, academic. Okay, so now your question is how your time can be utilized in academic scenario. This is a very important thing, you know that. So because we are not a full-time scientist, so we have to finish our portions of our UG and PG level. At the same time, we want to publish the papers to satisfy the credit points, which is already prescribing by the university. So in between that, how to utilize your time in an academic scenario, that is one of the important things. So don't worry about that. Don't spend too much time for your research. So I will just make a simple graphical representation of my time utilization. You please at least read 1 or 2 or 3 articles. At least you read 2 articles or 1 article daily in a particular area. So after reading that, after 32 or 20 to 30 days, you can fix a core area. You please identify who are the heavy hitters present in that particular field. You please list out. Please make a trial and error experiments in your lab itself. So suppose if you are running in your UG laboratory, in your UG class itself, Suppose if there may be a UG lab is going on, so you know that so you have a reflex or some magnetic is needed for a trial and error experiment. So you can itself make some trial and error experiments, and you consult with the senior faculty or your principal investigator whether your ideas may be correct or not. Once you are getting some positive results, then you can design your workflow. So this is a normal systematic procedure you can be follow for writing in an academic scenario. And I think this is a question already told, that one Sana, you told, that this is the answer. How to write a review article? You know that it is very difficult to write a review article, because review article commonly the people who are actively engaged in that area only will write that. Suppose if you want to write a review article, so with the help of your students, so I will tell a very simple trick in that. You please read your research articles at least 5 in a daily, and make a group with a similar mindset. So that is very important thing. That so suppose if you want to collaborate with the people, so if one fellow having different mindset, you cannot accommodate that people. So you please make your core group with a similar mindset, and each group should you please give them individual articles, and in every week your principal investigator should analyze the progress. Suppose if you want to establish a structured relationship, or if you want to write a drug design topic of ACE angiotensin converting enzyme 2 inhibitors design. You see here, suppose if you want to write a recent review, so first of all, you please note that what are the ASC inhibitors or FDA approved drugs are already present in that, on what is the exact time for starting that particular research. Suppose if it started from the 1990, from 1990 to 2021, you collect all the 30 years of literature in a chronological ways, and please divide that year-wise literature to different peoples, and please write their own findings and their own conclusion from each of that, and your PA should be analyzed, and he will compile all the findings and will make a good review article. And so in a review article, you please mention with the good figures. That is one of the most important thing, that because whatever the things we are going to explain, it should be very needful, and you should need a more striking figures. And this is the most important part. Then I am concluding the part. Okay, I think you see here, can you able to see this slide clearly?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Slides are clear.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes, because you see here, I synthesize some molecules, and I got some, or I isolated some of the molecules in my lab. But you know that in a pharmacy academic, you know that it is very difficult to evaluate the biological response or biological screening of the molecule. Sometimes if you have some costly cell line studies or enzyme inhibition study or protein type of assay or DNA inhibition study, it is very difficult to conduct in our lab. So at that particular time, you should find an international collaborator. You see here, that is it is not that much of difficult. But before identification of, before identifying the international collaborator, so you should have some following tricks. I will note that. Please note that. Find the heavy hitter of the target. Suppose if you are because my area of design is monoamine oxidase enzyme. I started this project because during my PhD, that is 2015, at the end of my PhD only, I just identified, or I have some interest on the target. So I mailed many of the international heavy hitters, but unfortunately, very few of them only responded for the evaluation of my sample. So don't worry about that. So first of all, your main focus is you please identify all the heavy hitters who are actively engaged for the publication of the publication, and from the PubMed database, you please collect their email IDs, and you collect their articles, And you please because in my monoamine oxidase enzyme research, I think the number one for the first collaborator is C. Binda from the USA, and the second is Jacob Pitzer from the South Africa, then Fox Box from the Portugal, then Hoonkin from the Korea, Gulbar Kukar from the Turkey, and Simon Carodori from the Italy, and L. Pisani from the Italy, Professor Nicolotti from the Italy. I think 10 to 15 research scientists and their groups are actively engaged for it, because now, so in the initially I don't have any contact on these peoples. So initially I got a contact in the Professor Gulbar Kukar from the Turkey. So after publishing small papers only, so I got some contacts in all these areas. Okay, so that's why. So because there will maybe always a first time is there, so don't worry about that. You please identify your target. You please make a healthy relationship in your heavy hitters, especially in the international level. You please read their article and you have a clear demonstration. You have a clear idea. Whenever if you are have a meeting with their your collaborator, you should be able to explain what is the thing I am going to explore. So such type of convincing theme is necessary, and a request for a collaboration. Okay, this is a what is that in a collaborating letter, because it is depends upon individual, but in my collaboration letter, you see here, before writing a letter, you please make an attractive title and convincing the collaborator. This is the most important thing. You see here, I think in the there is maybe a common talk is in PhD graduates. So PhD is or a doctor in philosophy, it is not a big thing. The main thing is what, how to deal your supervisor. Is it right or not? Hello, is it right or not?
Yes, it's right. It's right.
Yeah. You see here, suppose if you have what is that, a extreme hard worker. Suppose if your research guide is not convincing any of the work, what is the necessity of that work? So the first thing is, you and your PhD guide or your collaborator, we need a healthy relationship. So that healthy relationship, it will never come in a single moment. So it will come slowly only. So that's why in that requesting letter, you please convince your collaborator for the need of your work. You should satisfy. And you please mention these are the outcome. Maybe it maybe comes as a patent. It maybe comes as a big impact factor journals publication. So all the thing. And this is the most important thing. Time schedule. You see here, suppose I have a project in my mind. So simply I just extract all the email IDs. Don't write that I am Professor Mathew from Amrita Vishwavidyapitham. I want to do a project, a collaboration with your lab, and please consider for the biological screening. So simply writing, so no one will accept. So you please give a specified time. Dear sir, if you're sending the sample, your biological evaluation may be this time. That means maybe 30 or 40 days. Within that, I will what is that, draft my own manuscript, then you can incorporate. So all the time schedule should be precise. So if you prove that if you prove your one publication is 100%, if they will satisfy, obviously you see here I have 6 to 7 years of continuous collaboration. Okay, so that collaboration you can keep on in your lifetime. There is no problem in that, but the time schedule and targeting sometimes there may be some conflict of your collaborator, but you should manage. Okay, so that is very important thing. That so because these collaboration, you see here, they are doing very costly experiments, so they will do free of cost only, but your duty is only to compile the results, writing the paper, and you should what is that, always respect their works. That is a very important thing. So you please give respect and take respect. Okay, and these are the end of the thing. I can tell you that if you can explain something simply, You don't understand well. This is a very famous quoting of Albert Einstein. So that's why because I think it is all our teachers only. We are coming from the academic background. So suppose if you cannot explain your students in a simple manner, the meaning is very simple that you don't understand well. So that's why, so if you have anything, so you please convince your ideas in a simple manner. So that will give a clear explanation, both you and your audience. So like that in your paper, if you know something, your explanation skill is very important. So for that explanation skill, you should read many articles. Okay, I will tell a very simple example. Okay, if you want to write a good novel, so what is the thing you should do? So if you want to write a good novel, you should, before writing a novel, you should read at least 100 novels. So in every novels, your authors narrates their own stories in a different ways. Suppose if you want to write a new story, so you please, you will get some inspiration of some of the authors which you already read, and that inspiration will make a chance to write another concept which may be your own idea. So that is a very important thing, that so transferring the knowledge is one of the major concept is that. And the last slide I can tell you that you please, this is a very famous quote, the stay hungry and stay foolish. Okay, so that's the end of the thing. I think we cover how to write the research article and how to write the medicinal chemistry and what is the role of publication. And another thing is how to make an international collaboration. Okay, so these are the things I can tell you. Okay, so if you have any doubt, if you want any collaboration help, you can frankly speak, and possibly if it is if I have some possibility, definitely I will help you. If any doubt, you can ask me.
Any doubts? So that was a great session, Dr. Bijo.
No, sir.
It was really admiring. And one ma'am, that Sana ma'am has replied that she was trying to publish a article. One second. She was trying to publish a review article on anti-cancer drugs on sphingosine kinase inhibitor, and her paper was rejected.
Which journal?
Ma'am, can you speak up?
Madam, can you please tell me that which journal and what is the reason behind in that?
So we will interact how we can publish in a journal, and what we should do if one journal rejected a paper, what we should do, that we can discuss and interact.
Hello.
Definitely, if they, yeah, don't worry about the rejection. So I think weekly I'm getting more than 3 to 4 rejection nowadays. Don't worry about the rejection.
Ma'am, speak
Okay,
up.
tell me.
Yes, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. You are audible.
Yes, yes.
I was prepared review paper on the topic sphingosine kinase inhibitor drugs acting as an anti-cancerous drug. And sir, my review is rejected. So how
Yeah.
improve it?
Which
And
journal?
what step required to prepare a good review paper?
Madam, which journal? Which journal?
Sir, elsewhere, Chandra. Hello.
Elsewhere, name of the journal. Elsewhere is a publisher. The name of the journal.
There are some hello. So there are some network in my site.
Yeah, from which journal? Hello? Hello, hello? Hello, can you hear me?
Madam, can you hear? I think she has some network issue. Anybody else? Anyone else has any queries?
Hi, sir.
Tell me, ma'am.
Yes.
Sir, I'm from Kerala. I work in KVM College of Pharmacy, and I'm in the field of pharmacognosy. So my
What's your
question
name?
is, my name is Ramya.
Your name? Ramya. Tell me, Ramya. Oh, tell me.
Sir, my question is, I've heard about citations you have to keep while doing the reference. So how do you cite a journal?
Citations?
I don't get the
Citations of the
term.
journal.
Uh, I don't get the term by citation. That when we are giving, we have to cite a journal. I've heard.
No. You see here, I didn't understand the question, Ramya, because you see here, citation is nothing but whatever the works they incorporate in the reference. So that is citations, number of citations. Which did you try any journals for your work?
No, I have one. So I have heard that we have to increase our citations. So how do we do that, sir?
Increase our
Is it
citations.
related? Is it related to publishing in a journal?
No. You see here, when I started my publishing, I think initially I don't have any citation in the Google Scholar. So slowly only you will, because initially how you can get it, because there is always a first time is there. Always when we are approaching a journal, so definitely at that particular time you have zero citation. Slowly you see here, you will improve your career. Slowly you start some low impact journal to the high impact journal. So slowly you will get some citation. So it is not necessary. If you have 1,000 or 2,000 citation only, there is no. It is not necessary. Okay, you please reading your research article and write to your own skill. What are the ways you are making the audience in a clear way? That is the concept.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
From where you finished your PhD?
No. I didn't. I just finished my M.Pharm, and I'm working in
In where?
KVM.
Which college?
KVM
Which
College of
college?
Pharmacy.
From where you finished your M.Pharm?
M.Pharm from Bangalore, sir. Bangalore.
Okay.
Pharmaceutical
Okay. All the
Institute
best.
of Pharmacy. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. All the best.
So, any questions? So, I hope there is no questions or no doubts.
Relating with any journal clarification or anything?
Oh, okay, sir. So I think now we can wind up the session, sir. Bijo, sir, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Sir, thank you very much.
Anything more?
Anyone, any questions?
Hello.
No. Yeah, please, ma'am, please.
Yes.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Yeah.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Because the
Yes.
net connection is very poor. So even the same
No
thing
problem.
happened with me also. Hello.
Yeah. I can hear.
Okay, sir. So even same thing happened with me also. I have submitted one paper to Journal of Industrial Pharmacy, and even I don't remember, but the same case happened. They have not accepted my paper, and they have reason that
Is it a result?
No, it is a review paper actually.
Yeah.
Nanostructured
Is it
lipid
editorial
carrier.
rejection or is it a
Hello?
editorial rejection? Is it editorial rejection?
No. It is reviewers think. I think actually so many times I have gone for this, but I still remember the rejection. That's why I am telling you. And they are saying that the topic was not novel, and I'm going to publish for the nanostructured lipid carrier.
Okay, I will suggest some of the journals. So you please write out drug delivery letters. Drug delivery
Okay,
letters.
just 1 minute, sir. Drug
Drug
delivery?
delivery letters.
Okay.
Current drug delivery.
Huh?
Current drug delivery.
Okay.
Current pharmaceutical design. Current drug targets. So you please try these journals.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you for your
These
help.
are SI indexed journal with no. Yeah.
Very good. Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Any more clarification?
Anyone has any queries?
Okay, have a good day. Bye.
Okay. Bijo sir, thank you. Thank you very
Any
much.
doubt you can any doubt you can mail me.
Yeah, I will put your mail ID in the chat box so that everyone can contact you.
Okay.
Anyone needs can contact you. So thank you once again, sir. Thank you very much for this wonderful session. So many people were wondering how to publish a research journal. So you give a clear-cut idea for how to publish it in a good journal. So thank you very much. Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
So, okay, our next session will begin at 11:30 a.m. So there is a 15 minutes break. So thank you all. Thank you. Thank you, Bijo sir. Thank you.